I'm David Sears. You know, it's been a busy few days for San Antonio Spurs fans. It all started back on May 17th when the Spurs won the NBA lottery, giving them the first pick in the NBA draft. This coming in a year when a player was labeled a generational talent, and he was available. The Spurs made French phenom Victor Wembanyama the top pick in the draft. And 2 days later, the Spurs welcomed him to the Alamo City.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. I feel that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night.
All right, everybody, welcome. Welcome Spurs family here and from around the world to the historic Arneson River Theater right here in downtown San Antonio, Texas for our Welcome the Rookies event. Now this is a significant place. You all know this because this is ground zero for our championship celebrations. Yes, it is. A fitting location. And this morning we have the honor of welcoming CD and Victor to San Antonio and getting to know them as people. So thank you all for coming. Before we begin, we want to recognize a few of our distinguished San Antonians here in the crowd. General Manager Brian Wright, the man responsible for all this. Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai. Peter, will you stand up, please? The man, I just call him Mr. Mayor, Mayor of San Antonio, Ron Nirenberg. And welcome to all the other city, state, and public officials who are here, and a very special shout out to the man who is really the reason we're all here today and the reason that the San Antonio Spurs are still in San Antonio, the Admiral David Robinson. And we also want to thank all the musicians. I didn't see them, they're around here somewhere. And performers of Fiesta Noche del Rio for their support. Yes. We're jamming out here. They're going to be here every Friday and Saturday night until August 5th, so come out, have some fun, and support them, please. Now, our first guest speaker is, you all know him, but I want to introduce him a different way. I want all of you out there to get involved, and let's give him a big let's go. You know what I'm talking about. He's joined by his sister, Corinna Holt Richter. Please give it up for our managing partner, Peter J. Holt. One time now, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Good morning, San Antonio. I tell you what, y'all did it a little better than I did it, so apologies for letting y'all down. Next time I'll raise it up a little bit. But listen, y'all are not here to see me, right? Right. So I'll be quick. But listen, I just want to first throw out a huge gratitude to a group of incredible men and women that make up our ownership group. The San Antonio Spurs has always been backed by partnerships, and just like the city of San Antonio, it's more than one person or more than one family that makes things go well. And so we have an incredible group of really smart and talented people that support you all, support our team, support Brian, RC, and Pop, and they just do such a good job. So thank you all for our ownership group. It's a great group of people. But listen, what today is all about is about the city of San Antonio and our amazing region. There is no NBA city. Quite honestly, there's no sports city in the world like San Antonio. Nothing like it. The relationship between this city and our team is special. It's rooted in love and gratitude and joy and impact and unity. And y'all make that happen. We love you. We love you so much. We have the best fans in the world. And quite honestly, what I'm so excited about and what our family is so excited about is we're welcoming two young men today and their families that are going to have incredible impact on the court, but they also want to make impact off the court. And that's what the Spurs have always been about, is about, winning championships, but also doing right and doing good. And that's what these two young men are about. And we are pumped for that. We are fired up. So listen, they need your love and support to make this happen. So that's my ask for you all, is to love them and give them your best. They need that, and we need that from y'all. So go Spurs!
Thanks, Peter. Our next guest speaker is the architect of our 5 championships here in San Antonio. I've known this man for over 30 years. He's one of the hardest working guys out there. Please put your hands together for Spurs CEO, R.C. Buford.
Thanks, Spurs family. What a great day to be together. What an unbelievable time to come together. We just shared a very unique time together in the 50th anniversary season, and all the great activations that we got to be a part of. You were the reason why we broke the single game attendance record throughout the NBA history. We celebrated so many times the river barges coming through the Arneson Theater, and those are the exciting times that we hope to bring to the future of San Antonio. Our history is unbelievable. Last night we had a dinner with Tim, David, Sean, Manu, and Wemby, and that type of opportunity to come together is the reason why it happens, is because you all welcome them into your homes, and they make San Antonio their homes. So congratulations to all of you. Brian's team, in the way they developed the roster, in the way Pop and the coaches have been developing our team, our players, developing our talent, were pointed for today. And the Hoop Gods have been incredibly generous to San Antonio for a long time, and they blessed us again with Victor and Cedi. So welcome to you all and your families. We can't wait. Our community is poised to take advantage of this. In August, for training camp this year, we move into the premier sports training environment in the entire country, maybe in the entire world, at the Rock, at La Cantera, a human performance campus that is built to impact our entire community, to engage fans from all over, to engage learnings from all over, to be distributed and democratized to everyone in our communities, in our region, throughout Mexico, San Antonio, Austin, and every place in between. So as Spurs fans, it's incredibly powerful to be together. We can't wait to see the growth of this young team, to see the growth of our players, and to share this journey with all of you all. So thank you for being here today, and let's do a Go Spurs Go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Spurs Go! Thank you.
All right, our next guest speaker is the man who put together this young roster and had a vision for the future. Obviously, he's made a great decision in this last draft, but he's also put together some exciting young players. We have a lot of draft picks going forward, and the man responsible for that is Spurs General Manager Brian Wright. Come on up, Brian. Can you talk a little bit about what your team went through, some of the steps that your team went through to get to this point?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, good morning, everybody. It's a special day. Good morning, everybody. There we go. So yes, it was a long process. A lot of conversations throughout the organization, as RC mentioned, a very collaborative process throughout basketball operations with the coaches and everybody as we formulated a plan on how we get to this point. And as Peter said and RC said, we've been fortunate. We've been blessed by the basketball gods, and we hope that continues. But we wanted to put ourselves in a position where we could build a team that could sustain success for a long period of time. What you guys have had and what you've experienced and enjoyed over the last 20 years has been amazing. And our goal is to bring that back to this city and sustain that for a long time. And to be on this stage again, celebrating the future and celebrating the now. But today is about these two young men, and we're excited to get that going.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you, man. I love it when a plan comes together. All right. Spurs fans, are you ready to meet your rookies? All right. First guy, we got a scout report on him last night from Victor, and Victor told us that he is a fierce competitor. So, meet CD Sissoko.
With the 44th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select CD Sissoko from Paris, France, and the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
Numbers, Geno covered with Sissoko. Oh, how did Sissoko get that one to finish? Here by Sissoko. Oh, Sissoko rolling down. There's a hammer. Sissoko one-on-one. Sissoko, no time to Miller, who finishes out. Sissoko behind his back. Sissoko, the step back, three ball. Sissoko will launch it.
Come on up, CD. Where are you? Grand review. Here he comes. San Antonio, how do you like the reception so far?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for having me, and I love you guys really. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Get used to it. Get used to it. So, watching that clip there, I saw a little bit of Boris Diaw. Am I mistaken? I mean, I saw a little bit of the crafty passes. How would you describe your game to the fans here in San Antonio?
I mean, Boris Diaw, TP did something great here. So no, I just want to follow the dynasty what they did before. So no, and I know they got a great legacy here. And no, be a first guy here is a dream, So no, thank you everyone again for having me really.
So you grew up watching these guys. You grew up watching Boris and Tony, any other Frenchmen, and maybe talk about how those guys impacted your game or what you thought about the San Antonio Spurs growing up and watching them play.
This team like to win. Like to win championships. No, TP, Boris Diaw, team, Manu did a great job here with you guys and with some rings. So no, and just want to be like them. So I hope we get a ring one day. So yeah,
it's a great goal. But yeah, I know that you spent some time in Texas already, Dallas, Austin. What's it like now to come full circle and finally arrive in the silver and black?
Man, it's great. I was in Dallas, but like Dallas, I don't like the Mavericks.
So what I'm talking about.
So now I'm here with you guys. So yeah, let's enjoy the season, and yeah.
Now, I want to ask you something. We talked about this earlier, so don't be surprised, Spurs fans. Sabes que muchas personas aquí en San Antonio hablan español. ¿Qué les quieres decir?
Pues hablo español muy bien. Estuve 4 años en España y no tengo palabras para decir eso, pero tengo mucha emoción. Y eso estoy muy contento de estar aquí con vosotros y eso. Otra vez es un placer estar aquí con vosotros y muchas gracias.
Now, we were at dinner last night, and Victor told us that you've known each other since you're about 10 years old, and he said CD is a fierce competitor. What's it going to be like now playing with Victor?
A great friend too. And now we was every time like competing with each other, like we wasn't ever on the same team, but now we get a chance to play together, so nice, really good. So,
Have you gotten any Mexican food yet? I mean, I know you were in Dallas and Austin, but I'm talking about real Mexican food.
They told me like here the burrito, like, quesadilla, it's pretty good here. I have to try one, but yeah, I'll definitely go tonight to try one. So
Yeah, okay, we'll fill you up, young man.
got you.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate you. Good luck to you. CD Sissoko. Do we have somebody else? Oh, yes, we do have another rookie. It's time for our next rookie, and of course, I'm not going to talk about comparison or stats. We're just going to put his quote out there. He was quoted the other day on a podcast, and this is what your young rookie said. He said, "My totem is something bigger than basketball. It's just life. It's just accomplishing yourself inside this universe." The young man's only 19 years old, but he's wise beyond his years. Please welcome Victor Wembanyama.
The history is a great teacher for the future. And it's our hope that we can build something that the city and the fans can all be proud of.
Welcome everyone to the 2023 NBA Draft Lottery. With the first pick, the San Antonio Spurs select. This dude is ridiculous. We've never seen anything like this.
He can handle the ball, he can shoot the three, he can get to the ring. You're seeing stuff that you just don't see.
It feels like the perfect fit. San Antonio is a good place for him.
I'm not gonna lie, a little shaky, but the excitement's real and we're pumped for the future.
Welcome Victor Wembanyama to San Antonio. He's tall. I hugged him last night. I felt like I was 10 years old hugging my dad again. Unbelievable. Anyways, Victor, first off, welcome to San Antonio. The question that we all are dying to know right now is, have you gotten your breakfast tacos? Yeah. Oh, you did? I love breakfast tacos. Do you remember which ones you had, or did you just scarf them down? Bacon and eggs and beans and cheese. Bean and cheese. Bean and cheese, that's a staple, man. Good answer. Now, I know it's been a crazy, you've been here less than 24 hours. What has been your initial impression of the city of San Antonio and its people?
You know, what I've seen is only love. Even before I landed, we were seeing fans right outside the airport. Just people, you know, who, yeah, I felt so much love from people who don't even know me yet, and that just pushes me to love them and to show them as much love as I can and to give them as much fun as I can too.
Yeah. Can you take us through your last 72 hours? What it was like on draft night, being picked by the San Antonio Spurs, flying in here and meeting some of these Spurs legends?
You know, my last 72 hours, first of all, my schedule's been really full, you know, in New York first, there was so many interviews to do, so many stuff to prepare, you know, take care of the suit, take care of everything. After the draft, there was a really long day. First of all, we were stuck in traffic like 2 hours in New York before arriving to the Barclays Center. Then, then the preparation of the draft, you know, there were many people to talk to. Then, the best moment of the night, getting called by Adam Silver, and finally wearing that Spurs hat. And I got my first Spurs jersey given to me right after. You know, that was a really emotional moment. Then I got to celebrate with my family and all the media. 2 hours of interviews, then back, you know, celebrate, back to the hotel, sleep, and then take the plane to San Antonio. And arriving in San Antonio, as I said, meeting with some fans, you know. Then I got to eat with you guys, with Timmy, with Manu, with David. Great night with Coach Bob, obviously. Yeah, that was honestly one of the best dinners of my life, and not because of the food. The food was good, but the people was amazing.
Great answer. Great answer. Yeah, you better clap for that one. So you all can see right now that he's very grounded, and for all the attention that you've gotten over the years, you're 19 years old. How has your family help keep you grounded and level-headed?
You know, this is the life I wanted. This is what I worked for, and this is what I've been wanting for a long time. So it feels normal to me. But for my family, I know it's gonna be weird sometimes. It's gonna be strange. There's a lot of new stuff, you know. And but they're really smart and grounded people. So this is really. Whenever I need to find stability, I can go to them, and you know I know they're never gonna turn on me, and this is really they're really the stability in my life, you know. So they're behind all this.
Yes, they are. We got a chance to meet their parents and their brother and sister. You grew up watching the San Antonio Spurs. Can you remember anything from watching Tony and Boris, and what did you think about the franchise when you were growing up?
You know, as I've been in Europe.
Look at that photo. You were like 6'11" there, weren't you?
Actually, yeah. You know, as I've been playing in Europe my whole life, it's a different type of basketball than what's usually played in the NBA. But you know, so I had many coaches who were really talking greatly about Spurs basketball. You know, that philosophy. With the coaching, obviously, but also the players. You know, we have many Frenchies go to that franchise, and I think it's in the whole NBA. You know, there's other franchises that's more important, but it's probably the most important and present franchise in French players' history.
Last night at dinner, you showed me a video that you shot on the lottery night, and you said in the morning, yeah, you shot it the morning of the draft lottery. Can you kind of tell people what went on in that video?
you know, that video will come out someday.
Okay.
Yeah. So people will see it. It was just me basically saying, I know, you know, I don't know. It wasn't a feeling. It was like a certitude. You know, I just knew the Spurs were gonna get the first pick, and I was gonna go to that franchise, to that city, and yeah, it was just a video of me, you know, recording. I just knew it, you know, and I told many people too, but it was just a relief to see that I was right.
Well, it was an unreal experience here in town. I could tell you that my wife and I went absolutely nuts. The housekeeper thought we were fighting each other upstairs. But then the next day, I got caught watching all the reaction videos online, and it was emotionally touching. Did you see any of those? And if you did, how did you feel about the outpouring of love and just excitement that people showed?
Yeah, you know, I can't forget that video of the roof up, you know, the people who were watching live at the lottery, you know, the excitement, just the explosion of, yeah, you know, of happiness. Yeah, this is what I was telling you about earlier, all the love of people who didn't even get to know me yet. It's just crazy to be, you know, to have people waiting for you in such a beautiful environment. And yeah, it's just, as I told you, I just want to give back all that love.
So we asked CD about you. Can you tell us something about CD Sissoko?
Yeah, you know, I remember that guy. I played the first time against him. We were 10 years old. He was getting, every time down the lane, getting N1s all the time. You know. He was really a threat at all times on the court, and truly, he's been, like, for a number of years, he's been one of the greatest players I got to play against.
Well, now he's on your team, and like he said, a great French duo. Welcome to San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama. Hey, CD, can you come up here? CD and Victor, both of you, please. We have some, yes, we do. The Coyotes here. So you get to show off your t-shirt arms. T-shirt toss. Better stand up. Appreciate you. Hey, there's still a limited amount of tickets available if you want to watch these guys play live. So hurry up because they're selling out pretty quickly. And to all you Spurs fans out there here at the Artisan Theater and around the world, thank you for watching and showing up. And don't forget this last thing. Go Spurs, go.
I can't stop. off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in the zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket with that so much weed.
Wembanyama and his new teammate Sidi Sissoko are the new French connection here in San Antonio, following in the footsteps of soon-to-be Hall of Famer Tony Parker and Boris Diaw. The day after arriving in the Alamo City, the two new Spurs got the chance to meet with the local media for the first time.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome live to the AT&T Center as we are getting ready for the Spurs draft picks introductory presser. I believe they're calling it Meet the Rookies. I'm Larry. This is David. Thank you very much for streaming with us today. Now, of course, we're talking about #1 overall pick, Victor Wembanyama, and in the second round, number 44, Sidi Sissoko. And David, I asked you this the other day during our extended coverage, 6:30 to 7. A to Z, because you were here in 97 for Tim Duncan. I was not. I didn't get to San Antonio until 2004. How does this compare to that year with the Spurs beating the odds to get the top pick and then everything else that followed after leading up to a moment like this?
I've called it the Wemby Fest.
Wemby Fest.
This is like 3 days of fiesta. It's like the night he got drafted, yesterday when he came back at the airport, thousands of fans braving that heat just to get a glimpse of Victor Wembanyama. And then today, I mean, you look, we're out here in the middle of the court for a press conference. Usually we're back in the media room or even at the practice facility. We're out here in the middle of the court. There's French media all over the place. It's hard to compare because this is such a different era, and he's from France, and so they're all interested, international player, but I don't want to insult Tim Duncan in any way, but this may be a little bit bigger than when Tim Duncan got here.
Well, you know, my second question to you, David, there's no free food here today, so why are you here?
Well, that's a good question, Larry. I had to eat Cheerios on the way down here out of a cup, and I'm like, you know, this is. I even went into the cafeteria for the media a while ago, and there wasn't nothing in there. It's all bare. But I got a feeling by, I don't know, October, they'll have that place filled up for us. So we'll be ready to go.
So put yourself into Victor's shoes. I don't even know what size they are, but probably 3 times the size of our feet. 19, you fly from Paris, you land in Newark, you're greeted at the airport by hundreds of people wanting your pictures, autographs. Then the next day you go to the Bronx, you throw out the first pitch at a Yankees game. The next day, you're just kind of chilling. Then Thursday draft night, he's down in Times Square taking pictures. And then later that night, he hears his name called by Commissioner Adam Silver. Put yourself in his shoes. I find it very exciting. He's 19. He seems to be handling it very well. Put yourself in his shoes and talk to me like, what do you think you'd be going through?
Oh, I'd be trying to get up and go to class or be happy school's out for the summer. I was in college. I mean, it's hard to imagine. But when you think about all the stuff that he's been through in New York, and he knows he's going to San Antonio, and then he lands in San Antonio, and the fire trucks are out there, the water cannons are going off. He pulls up, and he sees all these people just hanging on the fence. This is his new home.
Oh, yeah.
This is his new home, and people are hanging on the fence. They're all over the place. They want him to have some tacos, because he mentioned tacos in the press conference the other night. I think that's going to be somebody better ask the question, or I will. Just his reaction when he steps off the plane, because he comes off the plane, all these people just start screaming, Wemby, Wemby. I can imagine as a 19-year-old what that's like. I have no idea what was going through his yesterday, but he had a big smile on his face, so you know he was loving it. And I hope, and I'm sure he is, soaking it all in, just taking in every minute of it, because this is a rare opportunity for a young man like that to be in this position and to have all this. And then, you know, eventually we're going to get down to some basketball. Oh, sure. He's going to have to actually dribble and shoot and all that kind of stuff rather than just, fly on planes and do interviews. But I can't imagine what's going through his mind. It's going to be fun to hear him talk a while ago. And we've seen enough interviews to know how mature this young man is.
Yeah. He's very mature. So, 1987, Spurs get the #1 pick. Of course, get David Robinson. 97, get the #1 pick, Tim Duncan. 5 championships later, here we are, and people all said that Tim Duncan would help change the Spurs franchise. People are saying the exact same thing about Victor Wembanyama. How do you see him changing this franchise for the better, just like Timmy and David did? And how long do you expect until they truly can be out there and challenge for an NBA championship?
Well, first off, you bring up David Robinson, and when I was watching the plane come up yesterday, that's exactly what I thought it was, because that's exactly what David Robinson did. He was in a private jet at that same terminal. And he came up, turned the plane, and he stepped out of the jet, and people went nuts because it was David Robinson. And remember back then, he had to go to the Navy still. So, and he elected to come to San Antonio, and obviously the rest is history. I think the difference is, and we kind of talked about this the other day, is Wembanyama doesn't have a it's not like Tim Duncan because he doesn't have a David Robinson right there to mentor him and help him through. But he's got a lot of young kids, and he's got, I read that in one of his pregame or pre-draft interviews where he's talking about how he wants to play with Jeremy Sohan because he thinks their games will complement each other. So he's already thinking ahead. He's already planning. He's already strategized on how this team can come together. And I think that's the sign of maturity. I mean, he's been a pro for, several years now. So it's not like he's coming out of college. He's been a pro. He played, I think it was like 60 games this year, and went to some finals and knows what that taste of championship is like, at least to try for it. So I think we've talked about how mature he is, and I think that's the difference. Tim Duncan had 4 years in college. He's got several years as a pro, so I'm not trying to make him equal, but I think he comes in with that maturity that you want to see from a 3, 4, 5 year veteran, and I think he's already there. So it's going to be interesting to see how they meld all together, but it sounds to me like he's already putting stuff together in his head with the players that he's got around him.
It reminds me a lot of when Tony Parker came here as a rookie, and the fact that Tony had already been playing against men 30 years old over there as a pro. Wemby's been doing the exact same thing. When they faced Monaco in the finals, I believe the starting lineup for Monaco averaged right around 30, 31 years old. I mean, he was playing against grown men, so he knows what it's like. Coming here, sure, there's going to be an adjustment. He's going to have to adjust to America. He's going to have to adjust to the NBA game. But playing as a pro for a handful of years like he has and going against 30-year-old men, who some of them have NBA experience, I think was invaluable for him before he gets over here and helps the silver and black. So let's talk about CD a little bit. What do you know about CD?
He's played in France,
yes,
and he speaks French, so we got the French connection. And he played in the G League. He played on Ignite. So, and they had 5 guys off that team drafted the other night. So that was like, I guess that's the coup de grace team of the G League. So, and he's big, 6'7". So, and I still think the Spurs need a point guard, but they can take another big guy if he can shoot. So and they can speak French to each other. Nobody else is going to know what goes on the court, But we'll see how well he's developed when he gets here, and whether or not he's going to spend some more time up there in Austin with the Austin Spurs right now. But.
And I would suspect that would be the case. He'll spend a lot of time in Austin. From what I know of him, CD, he didn't go much. He went around where people thought he'd go, 44. Had his offensive game, if that were better, he would have gone higher. He's very good at defense. To me, after some grooming, I can kind of see him being like another Bruce Bowen. He's going to be that defender, and he's going to be able to hit some clutch three-pointers, when needed.
What's exciting to me is think about what Devin Vassell are thinking. Think about what Keldon Johnson are thinking. And we know what Jeremy Sohan's thinking because we saw him at the airport. He arrived before Victor got here. So think about what some of these guys are thinking when he shows up. I mean, it's like, all right, now we're getting there. I mean, they have busted their tails for the last couple of years, several of these guys, just trying to keep this thing afloat, trying to head in the right direction. And they're headed in the right direction. Now they got a little bit more to go with. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be an exciting season, as you can tell.
I know, right? And what do you think about this media presence here today?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 tripods. 17, and a bunch of guys speaking French. So I have no idea what they're saying, but I guess I should have taken French in college.
So you're telling me you're going to take French lessons now?
I'm going to go, what is that thing you can do that's real quick? What's that called? That real quick foreign language lesson where you listen to, what's it?
Rosetta Stone, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
Or Babbel?
We might have to do something like that. Just give some quick French lessons.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the hot topics has been, of course, when he said that one thing that excites him about San Antonio, breakfast tacos. Of course, we love our breakfast tacos in this area, right? So what do you think, if you are a restaurant owner and you came up with a Wemby breakfast taco, what would it be, David?
Eggs.
And it's a special also, okay?
It's got to be some kind of French label on it, though. It's got to be some kind of French cuisine type breakfast taco, right? I don't know that much about French food other than, maybe there's some eggs in it, and just a different way to present eggs and bacon or eggs and potato. What? Quiche? Kind of a quiche type taco? Really? Okay, that'll be good.
The breakfast taco quiche?
Sure. The The what do we call it? The Wemby taco?
Wemby taco.
How was New York? That's what I want to know. You got to hang out in New York for like 2 days. How was that?
It was a lot of fun as usual. I mean, we've been there over the years, for the Spurs, and my second year there in a row in Brooklyn for the NBA draft. And it was a lot of fun. It was nice and cool. The high got to about 67 degrees. Yeah, I mean, I seriously had to put on a little windbreaker because once the wind started blowing, it felt cool. But it was fun being there to hear Wembanyama's name called, and I was lucky enough to get to stand outside kind of on the upper level, kind of like here, and I was able to shoot the announcement on my cell phone and watch Wemby and his reaction, and then as he walked up to the stage. That's great. I mean, I've never been able to cover a number one pick in the NBA, so this is new to me, and it's certainly been very cool.
So where do you think they are right now? What does he do for this team? You asked me what. So you cover him all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to help them out. He's not going to come in and make them a 60-game winner right out of the bat. I mean, anything is possible, of course, and I would love to see that happen. I would love to see the Spurs challenge for an NBA championship this coming season, but they do still need some pieces. He's 19. He does still have to learn how to play in the NBA, and the Spurs are young. They're so aggressive, but last year we saw it a lot. The younger guys made a lot of young mistakes, and they fessed up to it and said the same thing. So, I mean, they're definitely going to improve. I can definitely see them being in the hunt for a play-in spot. And maybe number 6 in the West. Yeah.
Yeah, I think playoffs this year, and I think you're going to see one of those Tim Duncan, David Robinson turnaround seasons where they were like really bad the year before and they end up winning a lot of games. Maybe not 60, but I can see them winning, in the 50s. I can see them getting into the playoffs. I think we're probably 3 years away from the NBA Finals. And maybe a third-year championship, maybe a fourth year. But I think these kids are hungry. Like you said, we've watched them play last year. And, yeah, they make mistakes, but they're not, as I always like to say, they're not sitting on their desk, but they're sitting at their desk with their feet up on it. They make the mistakes going 100 miles an hour, and you'd rather see that than them just sitting back doing nothing. So, and like I said, I think this whole team, this whole organization is just pumped for what can happen here over the next 3, 4, 5 years and then on into even the future.
And I know it's a little weird to probably say this, but I kind of looked at the Spurs that they made fun mistakes. A lot of times it wasn't really a fundamental, but it was fun because, like you said, they were going 100 miles an hour. They're trying to compete. They're trying to beat some of the best players in the world. So when they made a mistake, sure, and it cost them the game, you're like, oh, man. But at the same time, it was just so fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing. They never gave up. They could be down 20 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they cut it to 10, and they never gave up. And if Victor has been watching that's got to get him excited too, knowing he's coming into a team with a bunch of young guys. I guess you got to be 19 to be a part of this team. If you're like 24,
forget it.
You're an old man. What are you doing out here? But, that's got to excite him as well to see how hard these guys worked and how hard they played. Forget the mistakes. I mean, they played hard, and they played for 48 minutes. They played the whole game, and that's got to get him a little excited too. Want to be a part of that as well. So, yeah.
All right. So Wemby's been called a unicorn, which he didn't like, and he's been called an alien by LeBron, which he did like. I do not have a nickname for Wemby. Do you, by any chance?
I don't. Tall guy. Tall guy. His hands are like.
Oh, I know.
His hands are huge. And what's amazing is he can shoot free throws. Yeah. With those big hands, he can still shoot free throws. Remember, Shaq couldn't shoot a free throw. If he hit the rim or the backboard, we were in good shape. This kid's like, he can shoot free throws. He can shoot threes. He can shoot with those big hands. Like, man, this is going to be fun. He can just probably walk around with a basketball, look like he's carrying a softball in his hand.
I know, right. All right, well, the Spurs rookies are expected here at the AT&T Center at any moment, and the press conference was scheduled to start at 11:30. I'm not quite sure what time it is now. What time is it, David?
11:31.
Okay, so they're running a little bit late, but it's going to start at any moment, and please stay right here because we are going to stream the entire press conference for you. I'm Larry. He's David.
Go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go, and thank you for streaming with us right now.
Brad? Oh, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for being here today on a truly exciting, historic day for San Antonio and the Spurs. We're going to get going here in a second, but I'm going to leave it to Brian to first kick us off. So go ahead, B.
Bonjour. That's about all I got. So I've got to get to work on my French. First and foremost, I would like to thank you all for being here today to help us welcome in the 2023 rookie class. Obviously, this day is one of the most rewarding parts of the job, not just to sit here and talk to all of you, but starting with draft night, to see the happiness, the joy of the players, the families, the friends, the coaches, everybody that played a part in their journey up until this point. And that's very rewarding to see that happiness and see the culmination at this event. Quickly before we get started, I wanted to take a second to thank all of our basketball operations staff. They're hiding over there in that top right-hand corner, but the front office, the scouts, our performance team, the coaches, absolutely. They did an incredible job over the last few months getting us ready for draft night, and we couldn't do this without all of their hard work. I wanted to specifically highlight someone, and you guys don't often get a chance to hear their names, but I wanted you to hear it. Mr. Claudio Crippa. He has led our international scouting effort for a long time, and to come out of this draft with 2 international players, it's only because of the hard work and dedication that he and our scouts over in Europe have every single season. They identified Victor and CD a long time ago and really helped us get to this point, so thank you, Claudio. I know you're not here to listen to me talk, so I will pass it over to Jordan to get us going.
Thanks, Brian. If you'd like to please direct your attention to the video board, we'll welcome our first 2023 draft pick.
With the 44th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select CD Sissoko from Paris, France, and the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
Covered with Sissoko. Oh, how did Sissoko get that one to finish? Sissoko rumbling down the lane and hammers. Sissoko going one-on-one.
J'étais contente, fière de lui. Sidi a toujours aimé le basket, voilà. Donc j'étais fière de lui. Je l'ai déjà été, mais hier j'étais encore plus fière, voilà.
On espère que tu vas t'épanouir dans ta nouvelle franchise et que tu vas toujours prendre du plaisir à faire du basket, comme toujours. Bisous Sidi.
Sidi, je suis extrêmement fier de toi. Je suis tout ce que tu as accompli depuis tout petit. Tu as en fait ta récompense aujourd'hui.
C'était un moment important. Ça venait concrétiser un peu le rêve de Sidi. Et pour nous tous aussi, c'était notre rêve, par procuration. Voilà, donc quand j'ai entendu son nom, c'était beaucoup de fierté pour toute la famille.
Bah moi, même si je te le dis pas tout le temps, tu sais que là, je vais te le dire, je suis super fier de toi et de tout le travail que tu as donné jusqu'à maintenant pour atteindre tes objectifs, atteindre ce rêve. Donc là, c'est déjà une belle récompense. Mais là, le plus dur reste à venir, mais on sait que tu es capable d'aller chercher plus qu'une simple place en NBA et décrocher ton rêve d'être un bon joueur dans cette ligue.
Quand j'ai entendu ton nom, j'étais à la fois très heureuse et fière de toi, car on sait en tant que basketteur à quel point la NBA est importante pour nous. J'étais aussi soulagée de savoir que tu allais enfin réaliser un de tes rêves après tout le travail que tu as fourni. Et encore une fois, je suis fière de toi, même si je te l'ai déjà dit, je pense que tu le sais.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, CD Sissoko. Welcome, CD.
Thank you.
We'll start with a question from the local media right here. Any questions, please raise your hand. We'll start in English first and do a couple in English, and then we'll get to French. And we recently found out that CD is fluent in Spanish and will soon be a San Antonio favorite just for that. But we'll start with English if anyone has any questions. Right here in the front, Maddie.
Good morning. As someone known for playing hard on the defensive end, who are you most excited about matching up against in the NBA this season?
That's a tough one. I would definitely say Scoot, like my teammates from Ignite, and definitely LeBron. So, but no, and I know this summer we got a good game against the Portland, so that will be the first game. So yeah, I'm gonna be there. So yeah.
Tim Reynolds in the back, AP.
CD, I'm curious how the Ignite experience, do you think it prepared you for this? Just playing with players the caliber of Scoot and being basically like a professional team, obviously. How'd that get you ready for what's coming your way now?
I mean, I was already because, like I said, a lot of times I was in Spain since 13 years old, so I was already like a professional player there, like professional process. So now it was good. So now they're family to me. I miss them already. We did a great year, and we was mad because we didn't qualify to the playoff in the G League, but it is what it is. So, and right now I'm focused with the Spurs. So yeah.
We go to Tom Osborne, San Antonio Express News, right here in the red.
CD, how excited are you to be with Victor, and how well do you know him? And also, I'm curious about your versatility. The Spurs really covet versatile players. Is it accurate to say you can cover 1 through 4?
I know Victor, the first game I played against him, he was already like 6'6", 6'7", so he was pretty tall. He was like 9 years old, 10 years old. And we did like 3 years, we was like, good rivalry, and we was playing every time the final of Paris. And but the San Antonio Spurs is really good because I think it's the only team that play like more like in Europe. And now Greg, he's a great coach, probably the best coach all time. And I'm proud to be here, and I hope we have the best season, so a good season next year. So yeah. I can defense 1 to 4, and be aggressive on both ends because I know if you play hard in defense, you're gonna be good in offense. So yeah.
We'll go right here in the front to Brian Colbert, Spurs.com.
Now, your versatility was mentioned. We've seen the dunks. We've seen some passes, too. Sean, earlier today, compared you to Boris Diaw. In your own words, how would you describe your game?
I can do everything in the court. And, be versatile as I can and try to help the team to win. So if you want me to play the 4, I would definitely play the 4. If you want me to play the 1, like each position counts to me. So, I just want to win at the end, so yeah.
Go with Jeff McDonald in the back, San Antonio Express News.
I know you've only been here for 24 hours or so, but I was just curious your impressions of the welcome you got, the greeting you got, and wondering if anybody was there to greet your plane when it came in the other day.
I didn't come with the plane, so I was not in New York, but that's fine. We did with my agency, my family, we did a 6-hour trip from Dallas, and Dallas from here is 4 hours, but we took there was traffic and everything, so. But it was a fun travel. We talked, and we was I didn't sleep for 2 days because I was really excited. So yeah.
And what do you think of the city so far, and just the welcome you've received?
Oh, good. Yesterday at the hotel, I took my first picture as an NBA player. So, I was not expecting to people that know me already. So, it was really good. So yeah.
We'll go right there to Matt Tynan.
CD, Brian on draft night talked about your unique path to the NBA. You've played abroad. You made the trip to the United States to play in the G League. How do you feel that has rounded your game or molded your game in a way in terms of experience in different parts of the world playing this sport?
I mean, this year was like weird because like I was like a young guy and the young guys were saying to me like, you look like a vet, like you act like a vet and stuff. I was every time hanging out with the teammates, like the old teammates, and I think that what Basquiat did, they did a great job with me to be a professional player. So I think like this helped me a lot to be in the G League Ignite part, and it was good. And I was like already by my own, like I said, like 13 years old. So yeah.
Thank you. We'll take any questions in French if there are any. Jan, right here in the front.
Bonjour Sidi, Yann Nonona du journal de l'équipe. Est-ce que tu pourrais nous parler de ta relation avec Victor? Et donc vous vous êtes joué souvent, et notamment je crois dans un petit tournoi moins de 11 ans à Bourbourg. Parle-nous de ces souvenirs s'il te plaît.
Non, c'est un truc de ouf qu'on soit arrivé jusqu'à là. Et parce qu'en plus il était déjà grand, il faisait presque 2 mètres à 10-11 ans. Et non, mais après on a toujours été en rivalité depuis U9, U10 jusqu'à U13. On était à chaque fois, il était avec les Hauts-de-Seine, 92, et moi j'étais avec le 91. Et il a gagné plusieurs tournois avec le Hauts-de-Seine, et j'en ai gagné aussi plusieurs avec le 91. Et non, ça s'est toujours bien passé, mais on ne pensait pas du tout si on revenait dans le passé, on dit que j'allais être coéquipier avec Victor en NBA, je pense que personne n'y croirait. Et non, du coup, ouais, c'est un plaisir vraiment.
Sidi, Clément Repelin de Canal+. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous parler de ces 3-4 derniers jours? Quand est-ce que vous avez appris l'intérêt des Spurs pour vous? Et qu'est-ce qui s'est passé depuis? Comment vous avez vécu la draft et les jours qui ont suivi?
Il y a une semaine pile poil, j'étais en train de faire leur workout. Et non, ça s'est plutôt archi bien passé. Et je sais qu'ils avaient un intérêt de moi pour être drafté. Et du coup, j'avais peur parce que on se rapprochait de plus en plus vers la fin à la draft et je pensais que j'allais pas être drafté vraiment. Mais à la fin, ils ont eu confiance et ils ont confiance en mon équipe, à ma famille. Et voilà, et maintenant je suis là avec eux et c'est un plaisir vraiment.
Et vous étiez à Dallas, vous avez fait le trajet, est-ce que vous pouvez nous parler de ces dernières heures?
Déjà, il y avait beaucoup d'embouteillages de Dallas pour sortir pour aller à San Antonio. Et non, ça s'est bien passé. Ça s'est vraiment bien passé et c'était un trajet en famille, quoi. Du coup, ouais.
Vous avez pu parler avec Victor en amont de ce à quoi ça allait ressembler, vous dire c'est peut-être incroyable, on va jouer ensemble en NBA sous le maillot des Spurs?
Pour l'instant, on n'a pas trop parlé de ça. Pour l'instant, on est toujours dans nos nuages. Je trouve qu'on en profite toujours de la draft, etc. Et je pense que lundi, je pense que le travail commence vraiment et on va parler qu'est-ce qu'on va faire cette année, quoi. Et pour la Summer League aussi, on va bien se préparer. Et voilà.
Now we'll finish up in Spanish over here with Paco.
Sí, Paco Fuentes, Univisión. ¿Tienes idea de la conexión que realizarás al hablar español con la comunidad latina en uno de los equipos que tienen la base de hispanoparlantes más grandes y también que jugaron en la Ciudad de México? Y mi segunda pregunta, y que todos nos preguntamos, es si Víctor compartió los breakfast tacos contigo.
Todavía no, todavía no, pero no, he aprendido castellano en español a la edad de 13, 14 años y era obligatorio porque si no hablas español igual Vasconia te echan, pero no, ha sido bien, ha sido un placer estar con Vasconia y yo sé que aquí hay mucha gente que casi toda la gente habla en español, entonces es mejor hablar la misma lengua, el mismo idioma y conocer a la gente que habla la misma idioma que yo. Y la gente está, ¿sabes? La gente parece que yo no hablo español, pero a veces en el aeropuerto dicen que, oh, madre mía, este chico es muy alto, y después le he dicho que hablo español, entiendo correctamente eso, pero no, es un placer.
Bienvenido a los Spurs.
Gracias.
Thank you, Sidi. I think Brian has something to give you.
Ready? Yep.
Thank you very much, CD. We'll have you join your new teammates right here in the front. Thank you, Keldon and Jeremy, and I think Sandro walked in. Sandro, what's up, man? And I'll have everyone please direct your attention again to the video board. We just wanted to build suspense a little bit, but the #1 pick in the 2023 NBA draft, Victor Wembanyama.
With the first pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
He is perhaps the greatest prospect to ever walk across this stage.
He's the real deal. He's one of those guys, you just have to watch it and you'll see. You don't have to listen to it. Watch it and you know.
Accomplishing something that I've been dreaming of, you know, my whole life.
Bah, t'es arrivé jusque-là et parce que tu le mérites. Le travail que tu as accompli jusqu'à maintenant, c'est prodigieux, c'est incroyable. Je veux que tu continues pareil. Genre, tu donnes tout tous les jours. Je suis hyper fière de toi.
Toi-même, tu sais, l'émotion que ça a mis en nous. On s'est checké, on a fait notre truc. Et après, directement, bah, moi, j'ai fondu en larmes, je t'avoue. Hein.
On donnera tous ensemble tout ce qu'on a pour toi, comme pour tes autres frères et sœurs, tu le sais aussi, bien entendu. Mais il n'y aura pas de... Enfin, en tout cas, tu peux compter sur nous, il n'y aura pas de faille dans tout le soutien qu'on aura pour toi.
Tu es un joueur de NBA, mon fils. Bravo, bravo, parce que tout le travail que tu as fourni, là, tu es récompensé, tu le mérites largement. On est vraiment très très fiers de toi.
Those are all of your new coworkers. Thank you to our staff for coming out today.
I'll be really brief. My mom taught me a long time ago to read the room, and the room is here to see this young man. But I did want to say welcome to the Wembanyama family, to Buna, to Issa, friends, coaches, all of you in attendance. Hopefully you all have felt the love dating back to draft lottery night, to arriving yesterday, and then here today. To Victor, I wanted to say to you directly, we're excited to grow with you, support you, challenge you, especially Coach Pop. There'll be a lot of challenging there. On your journey through life and basketball. Your talent is obvious, but as we got to know you, the maturity, the approach, the character really showed us how special of a young man you are. And as an organization, we're extremely excited to welcome you to the city of San Antonio and to the Spurs family.
Thanks, man.
And with that, I'll pass it over to Jordan for questions.
We'll take questions if anyone has any. We'll start with Mike Finger, San Antonio Express News, right here.
Hey, Victor, you mentioned the day before the draft in New York about wanting to be the best at all parts of the job of basketball player. And I'm sure you've seen some of the murals around town, the mariachi songs written about you. Do you feel like part of that job is to immerse yourself in this community, and how do you feel like you're going to tackle that part of the job?
You're right. I want to do the best I can in every aspect of the job. And as far as I've seen, the fans have been the best at their job. So yeah, I can only hope to be at their level. And it's just there was a photo shoot before, and I gotta answer the question the best I can. I gotta do my best.
We'll go to Jeff McDonald right here.
Hey, Victor. Since you left Brooklyn, what has the last 24 hours been like for you? Has it been sort of a whirlwind type deal?
High in emotions, but also a lot of stuff to do. After the draft, after it happened, I had like 2 hours of media, and then I got just to celebrate with my family. So the emotion had time to settle down a little bit, but it was a really tiring. The last 72 hours were really, really tiring, and but it's, I'm really enjoying the moment. Everyone is doing a perfect job around me. Everyone is doing their best, so I feel good, and so I have the least to do. Also, my family and the people around me do a lot for me, and everywhere I've been welcomed warmly. So it's really comfortable. I'm really happy to be in that position.
What have you been able to do since you got to San Antonio in those hours and days?
I haven't been able to do much. I've had time to eat some tacos, but that's pretty much it. Just unpack the luggages, and meet all the staff, meet the fans. This is the first time I come to this arena. I haven't had the time to visit it all, but.
And lastly, what did you think about just all the fans at the airport yesterday when you landed?
This is I wasn't expecting so much from just my arrival. It was really fun moment, and this is what it's about. This makes me happy.
Go to Don Harris right here.
Hey, Victor. Just really fascinated by the fact that we've never seen anybody your height handle the ball the way you do. And I wanted to get more reflection from you on the development of that. I heard there were the Pete Marriage videos, and your mom was your first coach in teaching you about ball handling. 2, when did that start? And was mom as tough as Coach Pop?
Sorry, can you? I didn't hear you.
Was mom as tough as Coach Pop?
No.
When did that begin?
I haven't experienced playing under Coach Pop yet, but I know for sure my mom wasn't as hard as him, because she was only my coach when I was probably like 5 years old. So if she had been as tough as Coach Pop, I probably would have quit. But she always knew her role, and basketball for her and for my family was always secondary. The first thing was always making me grow as a person and being a good human being before being a good basketball player. But about the Pete Maravich videos, I had one of my coach when I was 12, 13 years old. He was a big fan. Like he knows everything about basketball, and he was the one watching the videos and then giving us drills to do. And I just learned that coach, he's like a basketball fanatic. And I just learned he was at the draft. He was in Brooklyn, and he didn't even tell me. He was there. He was just watching me like a shadow, and he didn't even tell me. This is how big a fan he is.
Secondly, reflect on or tell us a little about your dinner with David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and Manu Ginobili last night.
Yeah, probably one of the best. You know, in probably a couple hours, I learned more than I learned more about the NBA than in my whole life before. You know, and it's such comforting to see that these people who are so important to the city of San Antonio and to the franchise are such kind people and generous because they genuinely wanted to share with me their experience. And you know, yeah, I feel like they've already started to take great care of me, and it's just so comforting to be in that position. It's so comfortable, you know. And it's also, I think it's also the position Tim Duncan was in when he came in, because he told me he just had to look up to David Robinson and Sean Elliott and follow their path, and he knew he was in good hands.
We'll go right here to Tom Orsborn, Express News.
Victor, what were your thoughts on the Spurs drafting CD, and what do you think of his game?
Sorry.
CD Isoko, what was your thoughts about Spurs drafting him, and what are your thoughts about his game?
You know, CD, I've known him for a really long time, almost 10 years now, and he's always been like amongst the top players of our age, like a really mature playing on the court, you know. And yeah, it was really hard to play against him back in the days. I haven't played against him in a long time, actually. Oh yeah, I mean, except at the G League, and yeah, he's really developed into. I mean, we were playing against each other at 10 years old, and now we're together in the NBA. In the NBA, we're gonna be NBA players. So it really shows that he's developed into the man he wanted to be.
We'll come over here to Larry.
Wemby, welcome to San Antonio. Can you describe to us, in your own words, you as a basketball player? We've all seen the highlights out there. Can you tell us in your own words, though, who you are as a basketball player, and what are the Spurs getting in you as a young man off the court?
As a basketball player, you know, I'm trying to be myself. I'm not trying to, at the same time, I'm trying to learn and be as objective as I can, you know, to become the best, but I'm also trying to be myself and not let anyone change the way I want to be and change the way I want to play. And I think this is really the way to become the best version of myself I can be as a player. So yeah, but I think I do a little bit of everything, you know. And off the court, I mean, people have been showing me love so far, a lot of love. And I think I can give all this back to the fans, to the community, to the franchise, and to the city, and even to the state. And yeah, there's a lot I want to do off the court, which is a good thing because I'm probably going to retire before I'm 40 years old. So I need to make something out of my time.
We'll end English with Tim right here.
Victor, I'm curious what the next few days are going to be like for you. I know sometimes Nike guys get called up there to go through that, and Summer League practice starts in a few days, Summer League games start in a couple of weeks. How hectic is your calendar the next few days? You know, I got a lot to do, but it's okay. It's all gonna fit in the schedule. I got houses to visit to get comfortably installed in the city. I gotta go, as you said, to the Nike headquarters in Portland. Yeah, I got a couple other things to do around the States, and but most importantly, you know, lately I've had so much stuff to do off the court, like with the media, for example, that I gotta go back to being really focused on practicing on lifting, you know, because this isn't what I've done most in the past couple of days, and you know, it feels really weird.
We'll do some French with Jan right here in the front.
Victor, Yann Onona, l'équipe. Est-ce que tu peux nous parler du dîner que tu as évoqué hier soir avec quelques légendes des Spurs et qu'est-ce qu'ils ont partagé avec toi et qu'est-ce que tu en as ressorti? Merci.
Alors, c'était vraiment, comme je disais, une des soirées les plus enrichissantes pour moi de ma vie, un des meilleurs dîners de ma vie. Et ouais, j'ai appris énormément de choses en seulement 2 heures, même pas. Et franchement, c'est super rassurant de voir que ces gars-là habitent toujours dans la ville de San Antonio. Ils sont toujours autour du club, ils s'occupent voilà, encore des joueurs, ils entretiennent une relation avec la franchise. Et ouais, et en fait, je sais que voilà, c'est une situation très confortable parce que il y a des légendes, pas seulement du club, mais de l'histoire de la NBA qui sont là pour m'aider et qui ne me laisseront pas faire les erreurs de foi. Et voilà, quoi, franchement, de tous les rookies, pas seulement de cette année, mais de toutes les années, c'est sûrement un des meilleurs avantages à avoir, en fait.
Go right here in the white.
Victor, bonjour, Clément Rampelin pour Canal+. On parle beaucoup d'héritage, à la fois Tim Duncan, David Robinson, mais aussi l'héritage français ici à San Antonio, Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, Yann Malmy. Comment vous le percevez cet héritage? Est-ce que c'est un atout ou c'est quelque chose qui peut être lourd des fois à porter? Non, c'est qu'un atout, parce que, encore une fois, c'est simplement toutes ces personnes, tous ces Français qui ont marqué l'histoire ici, c'est uniquement les personnes avec qui j'ai des bonnes relations, et donc que je pourrais aller voir en cas de besoin et qui seront là pour m'aider. Donc non, franchement, il n'y a pas de poids à propos de ça. Si on se projette sur la saison prochaine, comment le fait d'être en NBA désormais, vous pensez, va changer votre jeu et votre corps aussi? Est-ce que ça va changer des choses pour vous? Oui, bien sûr. Bien sûr. Déjà, un facteur très important, c'est à quel point les joueurs sont pris au sérieux ici, comparé à d'autres endroits dans le monde. Et donc on s'occupe tellement bien des joueurs que tout est fait pour la progression et le développement. Et donc ouais, mon jeu, bien sûr qu'il va changer. C'est pas les mêmes registres dans lesquels je serai attendu sur le terrain en NBA et dans lesquels voilà, il y aura l'espace de se développer, etc. Donc, mais le jeu NBA, c'est ce qui me convient le plus personnellement. Et une dernière question, vous parlez des légendes qui sont encore dans la ville. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose sur lequel vous pouvez vous projeter, faire toute votre carrière ici, peut-être rester plus tard? Est-ce que les premières heures ici vous ont donné envie de vivre ça, peut-être? Bien sûr, les premières heures ici m'ont donné de vivre dans cette ville pendant longtemps. Ouais. Et la loyauté, c'est quelque chose qui est important pour moi. Donc, je ne sais pas de quoi sera fait le futur, mais forcément, ma volonté, ce serait de rester dans la même franchise pendant longtemps.
Right here in the gray.
Victor, Wassim Cornet pour France 24. Clairement, il y a beaucoup d'attentes pour votre venue ici à San Antonio. Est-ce que vous avez pu penser à peut-être des objectifs personnels que vous êtes fixés? Je sais que c'est parfois difficile de dissocier les deux. Des objectifs perso pour vous en tant que joueur?
Bien sûr. Déjà, un objectif en général, ce sera toujours de marquer les esprits par les performances et par aussi le bon déroulement des choses. Mais j'attends vraiment de jouer mes premiers matchs, d'avoir beaucoup de minutes en NBA avant de pouvoir me fixer des objectifs clairs. Parce que c'est quelque chose ce sera un travail de jour en jour en fait.
One last one here from the front.
Bonjour Victor, Guillaume Nodin, RFI. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous parler de votre arrivée depuis hier ici, de l'accueil que vous avez reçu? Est-ce que, même si vous cherchez encore un domicile, est-ce qu'en conséquence, vous vous sentez déjà à la maison?
Ouais, bien sûr. Bien sûr, je me sens à ma place. Parce que voilà, depuis que je suis arrivé, j'ai vu que des gens qui étaient reconnaissants que j'arrive dans cette ville. Et donc, ouais, c'est facile. D'un côté, c'est facile aussi de s'acclimater à un climat où on est déjà apprécié. Et donc ouais, je me sens à ma place. Mais enfin voilà, c'est ça.
Thank you, Victor. I know you already got your jersey from Adam Silver, but Brian would like to give you your first San Antonio Spurs jersey. Everybody give it up for Victor Wembanyama.
Keep up to date with all of San Antonio's top news, weather, and so much more by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below. And once again, thanks for watching KSAT.